Now it's time to keep you up to speed with the happenings on our national dailies. And we'll start with the Daily Trust. Boldly written is 2027, Jonathan meets Obi. Well, the story starts right in the front page and continued on page 5 of Daily Trust. Nupeng Dangote deal collapses. You can find this story in page 6 of Daily Trust. Ansaru leader jailed for 15 years. You can find this on page 34 of Daily Trust. INEC shortlist ADA 13 orders for political party registration. This is right at page 34 of the Daily Trust. Flood hits Abuja City, Katsina local government. Well, this is it was in our news, the first segment of the Daybreak, and you can find this on page 12 of Daily Trust. New tax law will raise airfares, says operators. This is right in page 23 of Daily Trust. 2 vigilantes shot as after killing of 3 police officers in Kogi State. This is right in page 8. Ghana receives Nigerian deportees orders. This is in page 33 of Daily Trust, and this is the much it is in the front page of Daily Trust.
All right. Next up, we have The Guardian. Right in front, we have open defecation crisis worsens, threatens 2030 sanitation target. That's on page 6 of The Guardian newspaper. At the top left, we have INEC rejects 157 applications, clears ADA 13 others for registration. That's on page 4 of The Guardian newspaper. Banks FMCG customers top FCCPC's 9,091 complaints. 10 billion naira recovery. That's on page 6. That's on business on The Guardian newspaper. Implementation of 2025 budget begins in September, says federal government. That's on page 4 of The Guardian newspaper if you want more. ADC split deepens as faction claims court barred Mark Aregbesola. That's on page 6 as well of The Guardian newspaper. MRA false attacks on journalists urges intervention. That's on page 28 of The Guardian. Lagos activates Ebola response system as DR Congo battles outbreak. That's on page 26 if you want more. Appeal Court orders Chief Registrar to confiscate crude on board FPSO Tamara Tokini. That's on page 27 of The Guardian newspaper. Make sure you grab yourself a copy and stay informed. Joining us to review some of the headlines of the pages of today's newspaper is Ben Shamang, former Director of News, Voice of Nigeria. Good morning, Mr. Ben Shamang. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, good morning. So right in front, we'll be starting with the Daily Trust newspaper. We have 2027, Jonathan meets Obi. So what is your take on that? Mr. Shamanga, are you there with us? Can you hear us? All right, I believe we're having a little bit of difficulty when it comes to our connectivity. All right, right in front we have Jonathan meets Obi, and quite interesting.
Very interesting, if you ask me.
I would like to know what the end of the meeting, what happened in between. But then former President Goodluck and Peter Obi yesterday met in Abuja amid growing permutation over a united opposition front ahead of the 2027 presidential election. Now, these two are prominent from, the South. They're prominent Southern politicians and have dominated discussions in recent weeks. We've seen it everywhere, especially from the PDP trying to get Jonathan back, as well as, Obi to get him back on their side as well. Although Obi remains in the Labour Party, he has been associating with the coalition spearheaded by the ADC. All right, I believe we have our reviewer back online. Thank you again for joining us, Mr. Ben Shamang.
Thank you very much.
All right, speaking of the headlines on our papers, we'll start in with Daily Trust. From right in front, we have 2027, Jonathan meets Obi. So what is your take on that?
Eventually, the major parties have actually shown presidency to the South. But when you talk of Obi and Jonathan and some secret meetings, these are people who are in the political party at the time. These were people who were successful in themselves at the time. Now, if we're talking about the coalition and at the time to talk, is that if Obi has clearly said on voting, people are still wooing Jonathan to come on board. But if you look at Peter will be very fast enough, they look support him because this thing is done to the south by fellow Southern. You've taken a shot. The southeastern portion has not taken a shot since the 6 days. Is it what they are doing? But everything will now break down from the real politicians and the politicians and the political parties ensure that in terms of negotiations, alignment, the alignment, the cajoling of what you want all it so that they now get who to be on board as under bearers for each of the political party. So management will all be part of the electoral.
All right, Mr. Shemang, right on the top, we just of recent we saw that an agreement, a peace agreement, has been called between Nupeng and Dangote, and now Nupeng and the Dangote deal has collapsed. So, what is your take on that?
It also means that the negotiations were not properly handled. It also means that some of excitement have seen that team is not favoring them. And I can see that the actually Dangote is saying that it's not allowing his workers to join the thing. And because he is trying to do direct supply to the filling station. And that's why he has his own truck. Somebody is hiring to go pick up petrol from Dangote. So with this, they can supply directly. But the thing is rather feeling that there has to be a union. And of course, the officials, as usual, want to benefit from this kind of unionism. But as Dangote wants to keep direct delivery and as quick as possible so that he makes that as more profit, quick turnover. And you can see that they are even reduced as we are talking the pump price of petrol again. It now entails the help from federal government to also reduce. Dangote is always taking the lead and the federal government is following. You can see that it's out for materialism at the point, even though it's different. It's supposed to be the other way around. And so, if Nupeng is saying that Dangote has been made, or uh, Dangote is saying Nupeng has been made, well, maybe the negotiation will have to take place. But the situation we are continuing now, all the Nigerians will continue to hold Nigeria to calculus and say that we don't breathe. Time has come that to get loose. Let us have the independent government. Let the masses create at the usual of the government. So, journalism should not be a thing that will stifle the progress. We suffer so much, no control, security here and there. Now that we have not seen them, and our government refineries are not working, a private one is working, and it's already about the situation. Who says that we can't have better out? The government is out to give us the enabling environment to ensure that businesses get right, just like one and see refineries are broke and taking down because Dangote has come on board. People are just refining in Nigeria. People are just buying from Nigeria. West Africa and other countries.
Okay, the next headlines to analyze is Ansaru leader jailed for 15 years. The Federal High Court in Abuja has sentenced Mahmoud Usman, the Ansaru leader, for 15 years. What do you have to say about this headline?
Well, deserved, even though I think that it should have been harsher than this, because in criminal law there has to be what you call justice for society, justice for victims, and justice for the criminal, and the criminal. And now he has it, but I think it should have been harsher than that. And we've also seen that the leader of Mahmoud Dawa is also been arrested. The leader of
All right, I believe we're having some more difficulty when it
Up
comes to the...
until
All right,
He's back.
he's
He's
back.
back.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
yes, we have seen that the government is ensuring that justice is being brought to bear. Whoever takes up arms in the state has the possibility to all abuse or the law. That is why the answer within the has been arrested for very long time. It has now been declared. Justice is being
All right, the next headlines: INEC shortlist ADA 13 others for political party registration. Now, do you think a party registration should still be a thing in Nigeria? Looking at the fact that we already have lots of political parties in Nigeria already. So, what can you say about this headline?
honestly, it's just the fact of intolerance that is being exhibited. It's only in Africa, particularly in Nigeria, the largest democracy parties that are there. And it also shows the level of tolerance. It shows the level of the politicians not getting it right. Why is it that we cannot just maintain someone from the political side? I mean, IBB at the point where that Nigeria is so happy for us, and it sounded from the SDP and the NRC. So people would either align the state executive to the right and the executive to the left. Here we are. It's not as if the politicians were about to give up ideology. If they were to have this same ideology, they want people who are in AD moving to CP, who are in PDP moving to NNP or SDP and all that stuff. As program about ideology. And I think that I also look at some very big criteria um, who gets registered. I haven't been registered. Do you even have a counselor, some sort of a local government staff? Do you have lawmakers at the state level? Do you have at the federal level? So why the way all these reforms? I remember when we were organized presidential electoral debate. I was in charge of that, putting letters and contacting them to go for the vote. At the point, we just a candidate would tell you to meet him in the car and go to meet them in the car. At the point, their offices were always in the market. I think, no, that tells you the seriousness of what they have. And the law says we must have offices at the national level in Abuja. We have all over the state. So are we saying that criteria met? Quite a lot of I think that the parties are just too many. That's why this participating doesn't matter. No king, no class, no deal, nothing.
All right, all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ben Shamang, for reviewing the front pages for us.
Thank you very much
Yes,
for
just
reviewing.
that I should add. Yes, I could see that you spoke about flood in Katsina and some other places. If you go to Manchok, Marwala, where I come from, we also had flood last week. We had it 2 days ago. It's just there and nobody is talking because, well, we are now talking with flood TV. But we need some relief in Manchok.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we've come to the end of Daybreak on Trust TV. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning for more. Make sure you tune in for Daybreak Extra on Trust Television. Thank you to all that called in and for our guests as well. I am Hawa Adamikiawa. Thank you for watching.
That's right, Hawa. Make sure you join us on Daybreak Extra. Myself and Fatima will be waiting for you 8 a.m. tomorrow. Keep a date with us. I am Mariam Idris. Have a nice day.